Hey, I'm Michael Fagan, the Fitness Guru. This is a healthy pause. A couple of weeks ago, I put a question up on the Fitness Guru page on Facebook asking what people's biggest gripes were about gym etiquette. I took all those answers, and there were a lot of them. And because I'm slightly compulsive, I compiled them into the 5 S's of gym etiquette. These are all your issues. So before I get those nasty emails saying that I'm too prudish and I'm too controlling, I'm just taking the answers that you gave me and I'm bundling them up with a nice ribbon, all right? So these are all from you. All right, the first S of gym etiquette. This is how to be polite in a gym atmosphere. The first S is sights, all right? When you get dressed to go to the gym, wear something that you wouldn't be too embarrassed wearing in front of your grandmother, all right? That doesn't mean you gotta wear 6 layers. That doesn't mean you have to wear some high-collared sweater. It just means if it doesn't seem like it would be appropriate for your grandmother, don't wear it to the gym. Guys, the basketball shorts from the 1970s, they're a no, all right? No one wants to see it, honestly. Think about it before you put it on. The second S, sounds, all right? Sounds is a big one. Cell phones. Cell phones are a no-no. Honestly, the gym is a place where you want to escape from it all. It's where people really want to just let go of all their tensions, release, do something for themselves. Try and cut down the cell phone chatter. Of course there are times when you're going to need it. Emergencies, parents with their kids, I'm not saying anything about that. But just because you're on the treadmill doing nothing doesn't mean it's time for you to call your best friend thousands of miles away and do a full check-in on how the day's been going. There's somebody next to you who wants to enjoy the quiet. Don't get involved on the cell phone. Chatting, that's another one. You and your friend on 2 treadmills right next to each other, or even worse, across the room from each other. Don't have a yelling conversation. Talk the way you would if you were in a quiet restaurant. Talk quietly to each other, nice and easy. You want to have the chat? Fantastic, but you don't have to share that chat with the entire world. Scream singing. This is one of my favorites, because I enjoy teaching fitness classes. And, sometimes people get really into the music, they enjoy the songs, but be aware of the people around you and be aware of the atmosphere. Honestly, no one's really going to care if you know all the words to It's Raining Men. Take a deep breath, look at the room around you. If you want to sing a little bit, fantastic, but if you find you're the only person in that room singing and everybody else is dead quiet, it's probably not too appropriate. Take a deep breath, bring it down. When you go home, turn on the song, scream, sing to your heart's content. But again, not necessarily appropriate for the gym. Finally, grunting and yelling. Now, here's one that's a tough sort of gray area. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of grunting if you're lifting heavy weights. It's a strain. But there's a little bit of grunting, and then there's grunting like you're some sort of power lifter in the opening credits of ABC's Wide World of Sports. Do it in moderation, and yelling as you're lifting weights, unless you're going to a gym that specializes in powerlifting or weightlifting or bodybuilding, is probably out of place. So in 95% of the facilities, probably a little too much to be doing heavy screaming. Also, one of the things that gets me is throwing the weights down on the floor. Again, in bodybuilding gyms, maybe it goes over a little better than in other places, but my personal belief is if you're not strong enough to put it down quietly, you're probably not strong enough to be picking it up. All right, next up, our next S, smells. All right, now smells. We're talking about colognes and perfume, all right? At the gym, you're doing a lot of cardiovascular work, your lungs are opening up, you're gonna be very aware of the smells that are around you. Don't bathe in cologne or perfume. People are gonna find that very intrusive. If you wanna have a little bit of cologne, awesome, but don't bathe in it. Flip side of that, when you're at the gym, you're gonna be sweating, and a lot of times when people perspire, that causes a little bit of body odor. Wear deodorant. Have deodorant in your gym bag. If you have a locker at the gym, keep deodorant in that locker. And by all means, feel free to use it. Use it to your heart's content. But nobody should have to smell your workout. All right? And finally, a little bit of biochemistry. When you mix the carbon in carbohydrates with the oxygen in water as it breaks down in exercise, it creates CO2. That's known as gas. If you experience this, remove yourself from the general population. Again, like body odor, not something you necessarily want to be sharing with everyone. The next S is space. Be aware of the space around you. Be aware of the people around you. You know, even if you have a huge facility, it's still relatively limited, and you want to be respectful of the people around you. If you're working on a particular machine or with particular weights and people are waiting for it, when you're in between sets, let them work in. Share the toys, all right? Share the toys. We learned that in kindergarten. Also, if you're working out in the gym and somebody's working out in front of the mirror so they can watch their form, don't stand in front of them while they're working out. This happened to me a couple of weeks ago. I was in a gym out of town, about 7,000 square feet, 2 people in the entire gym, me and one other guy, and he chose to stand in front of me the entire time. Which brings us to our final S, singles. All right? No matter what you're thinking, no matter how fantastic you think the vibe is, they're not there to meet you. They're there to work out. Don't go and intrude on somebody's personal space, or if you make the mistake of intruding and they suggest that perhaps now is not the right time, don't continue the conversation. People are not there to date. They're there to work out. If you're interested in dating, that's why internet dating was invented. But it's not meant for going up to people while they're on the treadmill and trying to start clever conversation. There's no conversation that is clever enough to intrude on somebody's space like that. So be a little bit more respectful. So those are the 5 S's. I want you to keep those in mind. I want you to remember something very, 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 very clearly. When you pay for a membership at a gym, you're not paying for part ownership. You're paying for the opportunity to be a member of the community. Be a constructive member of that community. Be there to help people as you can, to give people their space as you can. Be respectful. Share your toys, share the space. If you see somebody who's breaking one of these S's and it really, really just galls you and you feel the need to do something about it, here's what you do. Go and talk to the management of the gym. It is not your place to strap on the 6-gun and solve the problem. Management is there for a very specific reason. Go and explain your complaint to them. They should seek a resolution for you. If they don't seek a resolution or work to make you happier, they're not good management. You should reconsider the gym that you're at. All right, so those are my 5 S's for gym etiquette. Actually, again, not my 5 S's. Those are your 5 S's. I'm just packaging them up with a little bow. If you've got any rules for gym etiquette, or really any questions or answers for me at all, email me at michael@fitnessgurunyc.com. I'm Michael Fagan, the Fitness Guru. This has been A Healthy Pause. Come back and check in again real soon.